It's reading vlog time. Yay! I have decided to do another reading vlog. I had a really fun time doing the last one, and I just finished a book while I was on the way home from work, like, I don't know, 10 minutes ago. So it is time for me to do one of my favorite bookish things, which is pick out my next book. So I'm gonna go to my TBR cart, and because I'm trying to prioritize those obviously then before I go to my big bookshelf, but I'm gonna pick out 3 to 5 books that I want to prioritize during this readathon reading vlog situation. So let's go. All right, here we are again at my TBR cart. Up here I have these 3 and one more that's in my bag. These are on my August TBR. The rest of these are kind of fair game. The bottom shelf here is my summer TBR. So I'm gonna pull a few of these and then I'll give you my thought process. Okay, if you know me, you know that I'm indecisive. So when I said 4 or 5 books, I meant like 6 or 7. I have pulled 3, 4, 5, 7 books. I don't plan on getting through all of them, but we'll get through a decent amount. All right, so first up, in no particular order, I picked, well, okay, no, I will organize them for you. I picked 2 of these because they're on my summer reads shelf, and I don't think I've been prioritizing those as much as I had hoped. So I picked Happy Place by Emily Henry. This will be my first Emily Henry book. I have another one. I have Funny Story as well by her. That's not on my TBR cart, but that's neither here nor there. I have this one for a summer read, and this also is going along with my reading challenge prompt to read a book that was blurbed by 3 authors and then also read those authors' books. So this is one of the blurbers and I need to read that. This other book that was on my summer read list is Ready or Not. This is a graphic novel, so I feel like this might break up a little bit of the novels that I'm reading, because I think I have 1 novella here. The rest of these are actually full-on novels. So I feel like this might break that up a little bit, and it's been a while since I've read a graphic novel, so I'm interested in that guy. And then I have one that is on my August TBR, which is Jerome Dickey, The Business of Lovers. To be fair, I just started another book that's on my TBR. It's Allegedly by Tiffany D. Jackson. Jury's out if I'm gonna read that one or not, but I've pulled this one right off my TBR cart, and Jerome Dickey is one of my favorite romance authors. For a highly anticipated read, I picked Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I just binged the heck out of Fourth Wing earlier this week. I read it in a day. I fulfilled the prompt of reading a book that is over 500 pages in 24 hours unintendedly. That was Fourth Wing. So I am excited to read this one. I know the next one isn't coming out till like January, but I need more of those main characters. I very much connected with them, so that very much might be a read. I didn't realize that I pulled this as another book that needs to fulfill a prompt in my reading challenge, but this is On Rotation by Shirlene Obuobi. This is just a highly anticipated read for me, because she has another book that just came out on July 30th or 31st, and I really want to get it. I haven't seen it in my bookstore, so that's probably gonna have to be a rent, or maybe like my library, something. I'll probably go to the library and see if they have that. But I have been wanting to read this author's work for a long time, so I pulled this guy, and this also fulfills the prompt for reading a book that was blurred by another author. She also blurbed the book. So if I read both of those, I only have one more book to fulfill that prompt and I'll be done. Another highly anticipated book for me is Bunny by Mona Awad. This is a horror thriller dark academia book, and if you know, you know, I love dark academia, and this seems pretty short and quick. I've heard mixed reviews on this one, but I need to see for myself how this one turns out. So I got that one. And then finally I pulled What a Match by Mimi Grace. This is the second book in the, I think it's Love Struck series by Mimi Grace. I read the first one in my last reading vlog, and was it in the reading vlog or did I just read it? I don't know, I'm sorry, but I read the first book. And this is the second book, and from what I remember, this is like a brother's best friend tropey thing, and the brother's best friend is broody. I've never read a brother's best friend trope book, but I do like a broody romance, a broody man, and from the first book it seems like he's got it bad for her, so obviously he's gonna fall first. I'm here for it. Okay, there's just a little bit of spice in these, maybe like 1 or 2 scenes, and that's enough for me. When it's done right, I'm not mad at it. So those are the books that I have picked to start my reading vlog. I'm not sure where I want to start. Oh, this is so exciting. I promise this is my favorite part about reading, is picking up a fresh new crispy crisp book. Oh, also for this one I have the audiobook that is expiring in like 5 days on my Libby rentals, so that's another reason why I pulled this, to kind of prioritize it. Do I want to start with that though? I don't think so. I think I want to start with Eric Jerome Dickey, The Business of Lovers. Like, I feel like this gives 90s vibes. It gives cozy. It gives like a tall, dark, handsome man that smells good. Like, that's what I'm feeling from this one. And for some reason I feel like it's been a while since I've read a romance book, or like a swoony, like warm, cozy romance book. So I'm thinking about this one. I'm also very much thinking about this one because I was talking about the broody man. I don't know, but you'll see in my first update where I decide to go, because obviously I'm indecisive and I just can't make decisions on the spot on camera because you'll be here all day long. So I'm gonna get to reading and I will update you on what book I'm reading first of all, and then where I'm at in the story, how I'm feeling about it, and just a few. Hi, I have decided to read The Business of Lovers by Eric Jerome Dickey. I've only read maybe like 50 pages. Yeah, I'm on page 53, chapter 8. They're really short chapters, if you can't tell just off of that. So far, it is in dual perspective. It follows 2 brothers, Dwayne and Brick. They also have another brother named Andre, but from what I can tell so far, he doesn't have his own perspective in this book. Brick is he's a driver for, well, one of his jobs is, his side hustles is a driver for female escorts, and he provides like chauffeur services and security services, like bodyguard services, while she's like going on dates. And the other brother, Dwayne, we really don't know too much about him, honestly. Like, we just saw him hanging out with, or he went to like a comedy show with his brother Andre, and his brother Andre is a comedian, and from what I can tell, I think Dwayne, he is like a singer or performer of some sorts. Like, they mentioned him like trying to work on Broadway, but he tours doing shows, I think like in theater. So that's pretty cool. I don't know exactly what he does, but it sounds pretty cool. But I haven't got a lot from the Dwayne perspective, to be fair. I think I just took my last break once they're rolling back into Dwayne's perspective in the story, but so far we've gotten a lot from Brick, and it just seems like pretty chill. Like, nothing's really popped off so far. So I guess I should have probably waited until I got to maybe like halfway point so I can tell you a little bit more about like what the story is about, because right now like the story is literally just them going about their day-to-day lives. Like there's really no conflict happening, or like not really being able to tell where this is going. Well, no, there is one thing that I think might happen, considering Brick and his like just dipping his toe into like the lifestyle of escorts and stuff. It seems like he's saying, like, telling the lady that he's not interested or whatever, like that's not his style, but he literally asked her like 50 questions about it. So I'm like, I don't know, I think you might be a little more interested than you're letting on. But and it doesn't seem like he's hard up for cash. So I don't know, we'll see. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I started reading The Business of Lovers by Jerome Dickey, and I'm feeling the vibe like from what I used to read like back in college, because this is pretty much the only author I read. Him and Terry McMillan. I read just them pretty freaking much. That's why I have so many of them. But it's really like taking me back to that vibe and that feeling of literally nostalgia from when I was in college. So that's pretty nice. For some reason, I've just been wanting to watch TV and YouTube today. I've really been getting into bullet journaling. I used to bullet journal, oh geez, I want to say 2019 or 2020. I was really heavy into bullet journaling. And I did it for like 2 years. I tried to pick it back up this year, and it hasn't been a huge priority, but I have been down the rabbit hole of watching those videos, and now I'm interested. So that's really what I've been doing. I've been watching Grays. I just turned on Game of Thrones, so I think that has really been taking some of my book reading time. But I'm not mad at it. Like, it's my Anita time, it's my leisure time, and I can spend it how I want to spend it. I don't feel guilty for not reading more of this. I am enjoying it. I'm not putting it down because it's boring. It's just, I just want to spend my leisure time in a different way, you know? So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lay here and watch some Game of Thrones and probably tandem watch some bullet journal videos. But I will update you when I have more to say about The Business of Lovers, because that's gonna be a goodie. All right, bye. I decided to read Iron Flame because Fourth Wing really just did something to my spirit, and normally I don't read the sequel to a book like so soon after, but I really wanted to get this one under my belt, so I started reading this one. I am about 20 or 25% through the book. I've been listening to it on audio. I've also been reading it physically. I have the audiobook rented from Libby, and it's due in like 2 days, so I'm like trying to get through this, but I still have that like little extra boost. I consider like audiobooks boost. Rarely do I ever just listen to a book straight on audio, but it helps to bridge the gaps for me, like driving to work and like doing things around the house and stuff like that. So anywho, I started reading this, and it's cool. Like, it's nowhere near the vibes or like the feels that I got for the first book so far, but I do like being back in the world. I do like seeing like what the cadets are going through and like them building upon the story. The leaders in this got me messed up. Like, they are on some other stuff, and I want to see justice. Yeah, the new like commandant or vice commandant or whatever, like the hierarchy of the militant structure of the like training school is lost on me. I'm not even gonna hold you, but it's somebody up there with some rank, and he's on my list. If you know, you know. But the book is cool. I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to like getting through it. I'm sure it'll be at least a 3-star, you know, but the way the first book was like really something fresh for me, like this isn't feeling fresh, it's just feeling like a story, if that makes sense. But I'm reading this. I think I'm also going to pick up something else and like read along, but I'm also trying to get through this as fast as I can so that I can still have use my audiobook before I have to return it. So I don't know, but I'm interested in reading something else because this one just isn't like holding my attention as much as I would like it to. But that's where I'm at. That's my feelings right now as I'm 25% in. It could just be a little bit of a slower burn. That's fine. But yeah, that's where I'm at for my update, and I'll give you guys another update soon. I have finished Iron Flame. I just feel like overall this was really lore heavy. It was very like world building heavy. They introduced so many characters, so many different areas, dragons, names, like I won't call it like magics, yeah, like magic system stuff. Like it was so complex and dense, and I'm not one that typically like annotate my books. Actually, I've never annotated a book that wasn't for like academic purposes, so because it's not really my thing. But I feel like if you aren't annotating girly, this is definitely a book that you probably want to do that for, because it's just so much to remember and to like make sense of. I did like the villains. They have excellent villains in this story. Like I'm a villain girly. I love Disney villains. I love a good bad guy, you know? So there are many characters in this who I just love to hate. Like they're wretched and they play their parts so well. They're written so well. Some of them I hesitate to say that I understand, and some of them they're just evil for evil's sake. But regardless, I enjoyed like them being in the story. Xaden and Violet, they were literally a roller coaster. I know that they're not considered like a fated mate couple, but like the way that they respond to one another, it's as if they are. And they go through a lot in this book, and it is my personal opinion that both of them are at fault, because they're kind of like playing games with one another or being childish with one another, and it's giving like 19-year-old or something. But I will say that like they have their highs and lows, but when they have their highs, like it's so endearing and beautiful. And even when they're having their lows, like I don't think it's toxic at all. I think they have trouble communicating and trouble connecting and trouble trusting one another. But it's not like they're trying to hurt one another at all. Like I don't get that from them at all. So I wouldn't consider it toxic. It's just they're learning how to love and they're learning how to trust, which is frustrating to see. It's frustrating to do in real life. So we're kind of just like a fly on the wall as they're going through this stuff. It's frustrating for them, the fictional people that they are, as I can imagine. So yes, it is frustrating. Their relationship is frustrating because they are learning how to navigate it with each other, and to hold each other up through it and to choose each other every day. So I thought it was beautiful. Like I don't know, it might be unpopular opinion, but despite everything they go through, I thought it was beautiful. I feel like there was a lot of battles, too many battles. To me, a battle is a battle is a battle. I'm not a huge action girly. I had the same critique for A Court of Wings and Ruin from the Akatar series. It's just too much battling, like too many quests and people induced. Like it's just too much. It was too much. This book is over 600 pages. Like I don't need 17 battles. I don't need 200 people introduced to the story for me to connect with it. I did just fine in the first one. There's a lot. My review will be linked down below in my description box on Goodreads, about my thoughts about this book, but I enjoyed it. The ending, I strongly dislike. I strongly dislike the turn that the ending took. I am upset, like actually upset. I don't want to talk about it, so I think I'm going to be done with this review. I'm glad that I have several months until the next book comes out for me to calm down, because I'm hot on fire. I'm hot. Do I recommend this? If you've read the first book, yes. Like, yes, I recommend reading this still. It's just, be prepared for some frustrations. I feel like there's so much in this book. There's so much for people to love, so much for people to like be disappointed by or frustrated by, but I feel like there's something for everyone in this. It's just not going to be everything for everyone. You know what I mean? So I finished this. I'm glad I have completed the series up to date, and I enjoyed my experience. Overall, I enjoyed my experience. So that's what I have for this, and then I will catch you guys when I pick my next read. I started On Rotation by Shirlene Obuobi. Let me put my bookmark in. I'm on page 88. I started reading this in the car yesterday while I was driving, and surprisingly, like, it wasn't hard to jump into via audiobook. Normally I have to start reading it first in order for the audiobook to kind of like take for me, but it started out really well. I like the voice actress for this. The story has like an easy flow. It's easy to relate to and like connect with. So far I like all of the characters. The main character is Angela. She is a medical student, and she's recently gotten broken up with by her boyfriend, and she also is kind of in like a do or die time in her medical education. So she's got a lot of stress and a lot of like emotions weighing on her at the time, but like she's got a really good support system from her family. Even though her parents can kind of come on a little strong, they're Ghanaian, and her friends are like really supportive if she lets them in. She doesn't let all of her friends in, but like her best friend she does. Anywho, so far it's really cute. It's funny. It can be relatable. I don't necessarily relate to it personally, but like it feels very human. It doesn't feel like, oh, you just made this character up. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like something an actual person could be going through, and it's very relatable in that sense. So I'm really liking it. The love interest, like, I really hesitate to even say that because of like how everything is going down. It's interesting, and I'm so interested to see like where it goes from there, because like how they had their like meet cute and then what transpired like kind of after the meet cute. I'm wondering where this is going, and I'm definitely invested. So yes, I'm on page like 80 something. I'm maybe like a quarter through the book, and I'm really liking it, and I will give you guys an update. If not at the halfway point, then definitely when I finish. But so far so good. I'm really liking the writer's writing style and the flow and the pacing and everything. Hi, forgive the lighting. I know it looks a little weird, but it's like right above my head. What's important is you can hear me, and I want to talk to you about On Rotation. I finished this book. I read this book about 50-50, half audiobook, half physical book, and I've learned that, I don't know if this is just like an excellent hardback copy, but it stays flat so well. Like I'm leaning into hardcovers. So I really like this book. It felt so human. It felt like the characters, the main character Angie and her male interest Ricky, they felt so human. And her friends as well, they have mutual friends. They felt very human and like flawed and imperfect, and like I like this because it felt so real and didn't feel like super glamorized. It didn't feel like so far-fetched. Like this is within the realm of possibility for everybody, and I really don't feel like that a lot about romances. I'm like, yeah, okay, sure, like the whole marriage of convenience thing, like I don't mind the trope for like romance books, but like who is actually doing that in real life? Like, who are these billionaires? Like, there are only so many billionaires on the planet, like, get real. But I can suspend disbelief a little bit for romance, give or take, depends. But this one, it just felt so human and normal, and we got a glimpse and a taste of her Ghanaian history and her culture and her family dynamic and their values and their traditions, and just how difficult it could be as an immigrant, a child of immigrants, because the parents have like sacrificed so much and they have risked so much to start a new life for you, and you feel like you kind of owe them like everything. You owe them your loyalty and your gratitude and your unwavering like allegiance, and even at the expense of like what feels right to you. Like at least that's what I received from this book, and it was just a new perspective that I don't know that I really explored or even sat with really well. So this book did that really well for me. Also, her friendships, they were definitely tested. They were long-standing friendships, so I like to see those. They weren't like mixing and mingling, like, oh, we're long-standing friends but there's always been something between us, like in like a shady way. So I like that. It just seemed like genuine, just straight up friends from beginning to end. And then there was, you know, conflict within the friendships, and I felt like I was in my 20s reading this, like as far as like the friendship conflict and even the relationship conflict. I'm like, what is even happening? And like the spiraling that the main character will be going through, or like the uncertainty, or the what's the word I'm looking for, the insecurity, the questioning, because the communication is not where it should be at this stage, because they're in like their early to mid 20s. Like they're not communication masters at this point. I really don't expect them to be, and it showed. But like the love was there between all of the relationships and all the characters. The love was there, and between the relationships, it's just they weren't able to communicate like those insecurities and anxieties and worries and questions and like concerns and like what was actually bothering them. They were just reacting and assuming, which can be frustrating to read and to experience. So thinking of it from that perspective, that mindset, like, okay, I know how it feels to experience this, and then read it and feel that same way, I feel like it was a testament to the writing. Like I don't think it was like annoying or like unrealistic at all. I feel like it mirrors real life for real people, and some people might not love that because they're like, I'm reading to escape, I'm reading because I want to like go to a different world and different planet and like just swoon and all that stuff. But this just feels like regular people. I really like that. This is so relatable, not necessarily reflective of my own experiences, but I liked it. I very much liked it. So I have my Goodreads review linked down below in the description. I'm gonna stop saying it, but I really liked it. I had a good feeling about that book, and I was right. I'm glad. I'm here editing the video and it's mad long. I planned on reading another book and having it in here because there's really only like 2 and a crumb of another book in here. It's just mad long because I was passionate. So I think I'm just gonna cut it here so it doesn't end up literally being an hour long. There's not a lot of books, but there's a lot of information about the books with no spoilers. So I hope you guys liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and I will do more because I see the value in this style of vlogging. So I really enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you are new here, you haven't already done so, please consider subscribing before moving on because I have lots of fun things planned. I keep like dropping little Easter eggs. Hopefully it's not really annoying, but stay tuned. Okay, subscribe so you don't miss. Other than that, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.